In the beginning, 100 years ago, the story begins in the US in the 1920s when the reinsurance industry emerges as a valuable new player in the US economy. Gen Re, in its earliest form, is a pioneer at this defining moment in time. Through the merger of Norwegian Globe and Norwegian Assurance in 1921, General Casualty and Surety Reinsurance Corporation is formed and begins operations in New York City. Soon after, in 1923, American investors acquire the company and change its name to General Reinsurance Corporation, appointing James G. White, a famous engineer and head of his own consulting company, as president and later as the first chairman of the board. Although still small, with around 20 employees, through the vision and expertise of White and the board, the company builds its reputation as a solid blue-chip firm. In 1929, the company makes a strategic decision to only sell directly to insurers. It also pursues growth with a license to do business in Canada, all at the time of the Great Depression and a stock market collapse. During and after World War II, international competition begins to grow. In 1945, General Reinsurance boosts its capital reserves by merging with the Mellon Indemnity Corporation, a smaller insurance company owned by the powerful Mellon family, influential figures in the economic and financial history of the U.S. With the Mellon merger, General Reinsurance becomes a formidable reinsurance competitor, adding the symbolic lamp of experience to its logo to signify its trusted stature and reliability. A period of expansion soon follows. In the 1950s, General Reinsurance, now also known as General Re, opens its first branch office in Kansas City, and in 1954 becomes the first American reinsurer to write facultative reinsurance in the U.S. Later, the company also becomes the first to develop excess of loss property reinsurance. The company continues to grow, opening more branches in the US, Canada, and internationally. It moves its headquarters first from New York City to Greenwich, Connecticut in 1974, and then to Stamford, Connecticut in 1984. In 1980, General Re Corporation, the group's holding company, lists on the New York Stock Exchange. The company's expansion continues throughout the 1980s with some notable additions. This includes, in 1982, the addition of United States aviation underwriters to the group. General Star, also known as GenStar, becomes a subsidiary company of General Reinsurance in 1983. And in 1988, Genesis Underwriting Management Company is formed, offering innovative insurance solutions for public entities in the U.S. The 1990s present a host of new challenges to reinsurance companies: ferocious competition, a rapidly changing financial services sector, and relentless globalization. To protect its leading position, General Re responds ambitiously, seeking out further strategic acquisitions and establishing new lines of business. This includes the 1995 acquisition of New England Asset Management, NEAM. However, perhaps the most significant acquisition of all occurs 1 year earlier when General Re ramps up its international presence through the purchase of a majority stake in Cologne Re, the world's first and oldest reinsurer, and the fifth largest reinsurer in the world at the time. To understand the value of this move, we need to step back in time to the origins of reinsurance. Reinsurance first emerges in 18th century Europe on a facultative basis as an add-on to primary insurance, first in the marine business and later for fire. A number of primary insurers share extraordinary risk with other insurers, but it was not until the disastrous Great Fire of Hamburg in 1842 that the need for reinsurance as a separate business is dramatically reinforced. The fire starts in a cigar factory and burns for 3 days, destroying 1/3 of the buildings in the city's old quarter. Many insurers are bankrupted by this disaster, and it becomes strikingly clear that insurers have to entrust the larger and more complex risks to a specialist with expertise and financial strength. In response, Cologne Re is founded, with Friedrich Wilhelm IV King of Prussia signing the Foundation Charter in 1846. Established as a stock corporation and listed on the Cologne and Paris stock exchanges, early investors include members of the Rothschild and Oppenheim banking dynasties and others, such as the widow of famous 19th century novelist Honoré de Balzac. 6 years later, in 1852, Gustav von Mevesen, co-founder and author of the Statute of Cologne Re, joins the Cologne Re Supervisory Board, and that same year, the world's first professional reinsurance treaty is signed. With reinsurance filling a growing and important need, the company goes on to develop its expertise and expand its presence on the international stage. In 1898, Cologne Re opens its first office in the U.S. in Hartford, Connecticut, and in 1926 secures representation in the London market. From 1966 onwards, Cologne Re establishes a number of subsidiary and branch offices around the world, including opening Cologne Life Re in Stamford, Connecticut, now the life and health arm of Gen Re in North America today. It was this extensive international network and breadth of expertise that made Cologne Re an ideal match for its new alliance partner. The alliance of General Re and Cologne Re in 1994 forms a modern, premier global reinsurance group, the third largest in the world at the time. Reflecting their collective values of quality, experience, stability, professionalism, and expertise, the companies adopt a shared brand anchor in 1996. 1998 proves to be a pivotal year when the holding company, General Re Corporation, is acquired by Berkshire Hathaway, producing a business of extraordinary financial strength, long-term commitment, and optimal platform for future growth and exceptional client service. During this year, Faraday also joins the General Re family of companies, underwriting a diverse range of risks worldwide as Lloyd's Syndicate 435 in London. In 2003, the General Re and Cologne Re brands solidify their union under one shared brand name, Gen Re, moving forward as a unified global reinsurance business and brand. Today, Gen Re is represented in all major insurance markets around the world and enjoys superior financial strength ratings from each of the major rating agencies. 2021 is a momentous year, a chance to celebrate 100 years of trailblazing global success by General Re and 175 pioneering years of the historical Cologne Re. This rich and diverse history continues to foster a resilience and readiness to manage an increasing array of new, interrelated, and complex risks unique to the 21st century. Yet some fundamental things remain timeless, like the resolute purpose and dedication of Gen Re people, their commitment to underwriting and claims excellence, and the collaborative relationships they build with clients around the world. With deep gratitude and thanks to the people, clients, and partners who have contributed to what Gen Re proudly is today.